being joined now by members of the band, Rob Dross, Stroker, Ellen Breen, and Matt Carlin. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you. Thanks.
Notice from your website and your bios, you come from all around the state. How'd you all come together to form the group?
I was playing, a friend of mine, we were playing together, and Stroker just happened to be at some jam and heard his accordion, and it was just like, oh, you know.
It's hard not to hear an accordion.
Right. You know, but it was just like, this would be something great. Could we get together, you know, and play some music? And we did, and then from there.
Yeah, I think I met you at a festival.
Yeah,
and you at a festival.
I think I met both of you at Gray Fox.
That's
Yeah.
Gray Fox.
Yeah.
If you want to meet musicians, go to music festivals.
Yeah.
It certainly makes sense. Now you have a large array of influences on the music that you play, from bluegrass, Tex-Mex, folk, country. How's it influence the music that you actually play?
It certainly does have an influence on it. I think if you listen to some of the things that we've tried to incorporate, there really is quite a mix. And just from you know, even myself, I used to teach Jimi Hendrix, and so that sort of stuff will come out in bluegrass playing from time to time. Mm-hmm. And so you'll hear that. But at its core, a lot of like bluegrass started from the blues, and you'll hear some similarities just a lot faster.
You describe your music as taking from old and making something new out of it, and new music with an old feel. How do you accomplish that?
You take Hank Williams and you play it after listening to Zappa and the Beatles and the Boston Symphony Orchestra and a few other influences, and those influences are going to be there. You can, you know, I mean, we can play Hank Williams straight ahead as anyone, but it's kind of fun to add, to just be who we are musically.
And you can't take away your musical influences,
Yeah.
all the things that you've listened to in your life and that have influenced you, and you always bring that into something that you play.
I mean, if we have to, we can play it straight, but what's the point?
And you can, and when you think of it, Hank Williams did Hank Williams better than anybody else could do Hank Williams, so
Right.
why
That's
try
right.
to do that?
Yeah, Oscar Wilde said, you know, be yourself, everyone else is taken.
What do you all each bring into the band, do you feel?
I think I bring a little bit of the bluegrass feel to it, but also I'm a funk guitarist at heart, so I try to drive some of that, some strong rhythm playing.
For me, definitely vocals, and a real interest in harmony vocals. I mean, I really love that feeling of that chord kind of stuff that comes together when you sing with other people. So, I mean, I feel like that, you know, my background was chorus. That's what I kind of came from, you know, through school and that type of thing. So I think that's definitely where I'm coming from with that.
I'm listening to a lot of Tex-Mex right now, so that's coming in. We do some straight-ahead Tex-Mex stuff, but I'm kind of off the map on a lot of this stuff because there is no bluegrass accordion repertoire, you know. So I'm kind of listening to what the mandolin's doing, sometimes a rhythmic chop, sometimes I'm playing the fiddle part. I like to do kind of smears one note into the next like a pedal steel. It's kind of fun because Bill Monroe did have in his early bluegrass band, the Bluegrass Boys, did have an accordion, but it's pretty horrible, actually. I've listened to some of the old cuts. It's like, whoa.
As far as the bass goes, I started with bluegrass, so I kind of sort of bring that. But I grew up playing drums, so I'm really used to being kind of in the rhythm section. And actually, I really love the funk that Matt brings to his playing, and it's fun to have that kind of, you know, that rhythm section going.
Yeah.
You write a lot of your own songs and original music. How do you feel that that element brings it into being? You know, a lot of bands or groups just play covers and that's it. But you know, it's difficult to write your own stuff and, you know, get something new on occasion. So how do you get that group and that element into your group?
I think that what's nice about like taking an original song is that you have the collaboration aspect of it. That you know, you might, you know, if you write it for, you know, from my point of view, it's like I might write it. I do a simple thing on guitar and I can bring it to the band, and then all of a sudden, you know, like something like Broken Heart. Now we have a bridge that's like a Motown bridge, and you know, there's something else that's added to it. And I think that that's the nice thing about an original song, because you're the one who's hearing it. You know, it's not, you don't have a previous kind of conception of what that song sounds like.
Yeah, there's
And
no
then-
there's no preconceived notion about what that's supposed to sound like, and
you know,
everyone
so
feels
it's-
free to kind of
it's
add
kind of
to it.
it's really, and it's really neat when it comes out as a product.
You know, it's interesting, though, all the shows that you see, all the sort of music talent shows that you see, American Idol and all these things, they're always talking about you're supposed to try to connect to music, and that's when you become a real artist, right? So, but when you're writing your own music or you're playing your own music, you have a far better chance of actually connecting to it because you wrote it, you feel it, it's part of you. And I think that's one of the things that this band does very well.
I knew a man, he was turning 90. He said, I'm tired, I wanna move on. I can't hear, and I lost my vision. You know my old friends, long since gone. And they tell me I got so much to live for, but I don't know this world anymore. 'Cause you can't stop a raging river.
Stop a raging river,
Rise and shine,
verse a rising
contain all the
tide.
tea and China. How can you mend a broken heart? You can't mend a broken heart. Said I was there when the water was rising. I lost my city, I lost my home. I asked for help, and they moved me to Houston. I felt so scared, I felt so alone. And they tell me things will get better, but you know, Houston just ain't my home. You can't stop a raging river.
Stop a raging river,
Rise and tide.
reverse a rising
Contain all the
tide.
tea and China. How can you mend a broken heart? You can't mend. You know it said it would be forever, that our love would never die. We made a home and we raised a family, and now you tell me it's all been a lie. 'Cause you tell me you just don't love me, and that our love ain't worth one more try. 'Cause you can't stop a raging river.
Stop a
Can't
raging
reverse the
river,
rising tide.
reverse a
Can't
rising
contain all the
tide.
tea and China. How can you mend a broken heart? You can't mend. You can mend a broken heart. You can mend a broken heart.
2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you got me, my darling. What you gonna do? Now you have my attention. It's all up to you. Now the race has been run, dear. Cross the finish line. Was the chase just for fun, dear? Or are you killing time? My notch on your gun, dear. Just a name on a list. My trophy you won, dear. New game with a twist. Was it me that you wanted? Or just someone new? Could it be that you're haunted by a ghost or two? On your gun, dear, just a name on a list. My trophy you won, dear. New game with a twist. Was it me that you wanted? Or just someone new? Could it be that you're haunted by a ghost or two? Notch on your gun, dear, just a name on a list. I trophy you won, dear, just a lame little trick. Now you got me, my darling. What you gonna do? Now you have my affection. Why are you so blue? Why are you so blue? Why are you so blue?
Jumpin' Juba. We're going to find out what that sounds like and what that looks like right now in the form of Steve Hurl and Bruce Ward, who've stopped by to talk with us. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Thanks for coming over. Appreciate it. Jumpin' Juba, Steve. What is Jumpin' Juba?
Jumpin' as a name?
Yeah.
As a band name?
Yeah.
A moment of desperation when I was on the phone with a talent buyer. I said, I've got a new duo. I've been playing a lot of solo acoustic stuff out in clubs and coffee houses. They said, what's the name of your new duo with the piano player? And it's like, and that just fell out.
That just came in and it just stuck.
Yeah, it was one of those little Porky Pig moments, Jumpin' Juba.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly where it came from, except a moment later I realized, oh, that's the ham bone type stuff where they beat on your body to make a rhythm.
Okay.
So when they first brought slaves over from Africa, they took away, of course, all their drums. Nothing. They had nothing to do, nothing to remember the culture they came from except beating it out on their bodies and singing. And so that became patting Juba, and then if they were really into it, you were jumping Juba. So making something out of nothing.
And that stuck. It's been, 10 years now, right?
Oh, about 15
Has it
maybe.
been that long?
Yeah, been
How'd
a
you
while.
guys get together?
I was playing acoustic music in a lot of coffee houses, and he was the intermission piano player in one of them.
Okay.
The host said, "Do you mind if Bruce comes up during your break and plays intermission piano?" And I said, "Sure, he can knock himself out." I'm expecting a halting version of Shine On Harvest Moon, right? And he sits down and he starts playing this absolutely romping, stomping, boogie-woogie stuff. And my jaw hits the floor, and then he goes into Professor Longhair type New Orleans piano. And I'm amazed, and by the third tune, I'm dancing in the aisles.
Yeah.
So I tore up the second set list and said, "Let's jam."
So we pulled the piano out into the middle of the stage, and then from there we just played out the rest of the night. Just, do you know this one? Yeah, sure, go.
Yeah. And then from there we just developed an act.
And where did this all happen? Where did it kind of start?
What town was in Wakefield? Maxwell's Coffee House.
Right. Okay. So right here in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're local. We're local.
Okay. Now, Bruce, when you heard Steve play, did you kind of say, "Hey, that guy sounds pretty good. I think I can maybe"?
Oh,
jam with him"?
he's definitely good. They had the slide guitar working, and it's very nice touch on it. I was definitely impressed, but didn't think of like I would join. But then we got talking, and we said, this one, that tune. And I said, yeah, well, let's go ahead and do it. And
Right. So how would you describe your sound? When you say
roots rock.
Yeah, I call it roots music because it's everything I like seems to come from some time ago, and it could be from any number of different cultures. Really, there's the kind of the acoustic period, or the period of beating it out on drums and plucking it out on real strings as opposed to a lot of synthesizers. That's the type of stuff I like, and whether it's American or Irish or African, I like the old style rootsy music. So the roots of what's happening now is kind of what I go back to.
Mm-hmm. Do you compose at all? Do you
Yep.
write any music? You do.
Yeah, I put out several collections of original tunes. They're usually in the folk or roots rock or blues style. I kind of have a foot in all three camps, and so I dance around a lot. So I end up taking building block materials from older type styles and just mixing it together and mutating it and trying to turn it into something that you haven't actually heard before.
Okay. Who would you say is Jumpin' Juba's main audience? Who kind of comes out to see you guys perform?
It's a vast mix. The
Really?
kids like it because they can dance. The parents like it because we're playing stuff that they can relate to, and you see the geriatric people sitting there sitting in the chairs. Doing
All the kids
this.
turn somersaults.
Yeah. No, we appeal to a vast range. We try not to narrow it to one
Age
specific.
4 to 84.
4 to 84. All
There
right.
you go.
Sounds good. Get them all in there.
Yeah.
Guys, thanks a lot.
Night watchman working on the midnight shift. Night watchman watching all the good folks drift down to the places where you never see them in the day. Meeting with the poor folks for a little midnight play. There in the darkness, I'm standing guard. See Miss Lucy sneaking through the yard. She meeting with a poor boy in their secret place. There in the moonlight, I see them embrace. Night watchman working on the midnight shift. see them in a day. Meeting with the poor folks for a little midnight play. When you wanna know if a people is true, listen what they say, but then watch what they do. Out in the sunshine, they're heavy with the holy talk. The saints become sinners, mostly after dark. Night watchman, working on a midnight shift. Night watchman, watching all the good folks drift down to the places where you never see them in a day. Meeting with the poor folks for a little midnight play. Yeah. Meeting with the poor folks for a little meeting with the poor folks for a little meeting with the poor folks for a little meeting with the poor folks. Sang the suffering blues so long. Now it ain't too good to feel 'em, but they make a real fine song. I'm gonna get some compensation for the way you done me wrong. I sang the suffering blues in every little backstreet bar. Now I sang the suffering blues in a broken down luxury car. And now it's uptown or downtown, uptown or downtown. The blues will find you where you are. You know I'm looking out my window into a twilight's gloom, playing on my guitar and trying to remember a tune. And I was just thinking about a good friend who left this whole world too soon. And sometime I get to drinking, then I get to thinking, then I get to wondering why the people who upset me, they're never gonna get me. I don't know why I even tried. upset me. They're never gonna get me. I don't know why I even tried.